Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is a work and career reading for Pisces from the 20th of August to the 3rd of September 2018. Don't forget to watch your moon and rising sign for a more complete picture. I put the decks I'm using down in the description box, and if you'd like a personal reading, the details are also in the description box. So please like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments or some feedback. I love hearing from you. So I'm going to start off doing the general energy read for those 2 weeks, and then I'll do the general tarot reading afterwards. Okay, so the main card is achievement, rewards, and recognition coming in from you. And you're recovering from some sort of loss that you've been facing. Maybe it was a financial loss, but you're beginning to recover from it. And maybe you're planning on starting your own business at this particular moment, but a lot of recognition coming in for the work that you're doing. So in the past, you've had a lot of lies and deception going on around you, and maybe you've decided to move, so you relocated from wherever you were at, but a lot of lies and deception, and maybe that is the thing that caused you to relocate. So going into the future, you've got new insights and clarity coming in for you, and there's some sort of workplace assessment going on as well. So with this achievements and awards and recognition card as the main energy, it seems like maybe your workplace assessment will be quite successful as well. So new insights and clarity coming in from you, and you are recovering from whatever loss you've been through. And maybe you are planning on starting a new business, starting off on your own, but definitely new insights, new clarity, new ideas coming in for you. Okay, so let's do the general read. Okay, I've shuffled this deck. I'm just going to cut it. Okay, let's just rearrange this so you can see it better. The main energies of the spread is investigation, or you're doing a lot of work by yourself, being very independent, and you're using all your skills to sort out your problems or sort out your work. So you're working very independently, and you're an expert at what you do. Maybe it's something that involves a lot of technical skills, and you are very much on top of it. So working independently and doing a lot of fine detailed work. You can see this man's got a torch and he's looking at the engine of this car. So whatever information you have is very, very intricate, and whatever work you're doing is it's an expertise kind of job. So you're doing a lot of work where you're investigating, you're doing sorting problems out, solving problems, and you're very, very much focused on that kind of work at this particular moment, working very, very hard. Your head is down, you're just doing your work, and it involves a lot of fine, intricate work that you're doing. So for the last year, you've been feeling a bit overwhelmed, as though everything has been, everything can't be solved by you, but you've been a person that has been held responsible for things, and it has gotten to you eventually, feeling like it's too much. The workload is a bit too much for you, and you've let things slide a bit, so being very, very overwhelmed. And people have been pointing the finger at you, so that you have been the one that has been responsible for that particular task, and now they're asking you to explain yourself. So you have been the one that has been the main person that has been in charge of some sort of project that hasn't been really going well. Maybe you've had a leadership position and it's been just a bit too much. And right now, people are asking you to, explain yourself, if you like. So that's been going on in the last 3 months, where you have had to take responsibility and explain what you've done, and they're judging whatever you've done. So the finger of responsibility is being pointed at you. There might be some sort of legal matter as well involved in your work. Maybe you've been the one that has been in charge, so you have had to take responsibility for whatever actions you've done. So as a result of which, you've been going really cautiously, because people are now pointing the finger at you as being the person that is responsible for it. So you're working very, very cautiously. All these facts that are around are not being available to you, and you've been just feeling your way through the situation, worried that if you make the wrong move, something is going to go wrong. So you're on a tightrope, if you like. And proceeding extremely cautiously, not being given all the facts. You are going purely on logic you're going purely on instinct rather than logic at this particular moment. So you are feeling your way, and you do feel like there is no kind of support for you. People are also assessing whatever you're doing, and although you've been pulling out all the stops and you've been performing as best you can, you're really worried that they're not going to give you a good assessment. So being assessed by people and having to work really hard for that kind of assessment, and they're asking you to take responsibility as well. So this is a very, very stressful situation that you are in at the moment, and as a result, you've been putting a lot of extra effort into it, going above and beyond. You're towing the line as well, trying to make everybody happy, but taking on a lot of burdens and responsibilities. Especially with this card here, it looks like you have got all the burdens, and people are putting all the burdens on you, and you're having to work really, really hard for your money, and very, very hard at your job, and there's no joy around it. You don't feel like there's abundance. There's lots of responsibility, and you feel like whatever you're doing is not really worth it, because it's just given you so much of responsibility. And maybe you're vying for some sort of high position, and that is why you're having to work so hard to get it. So around you there is a lot of chaos going on about you. You really don't know what's going on. Things seem really upside down for you. There's a lot of bickering, fighting. It's not a very, very good situation, and people are not following the normal rules around you. They're just doing whatever they want, and you're having to navigate through it, and you feel like things are very, very much out of control. There are two cards here that show that things feel like they're extremely out of control, and you don't seem to have a handle over things. And here you are worrying about being assessed by people and having to work your way very cautiously through a situation and work yourself really, really hard. And it looks like there is evaluation coming up for you. There are two cards of evaluation here. So you're trying to make a good impression here, and people are looking at your work, and there are a lot of people looking at your work and trying to make some sort of evaluation of you, and you're really, really worried about it, because it does affect your earnings as well. So there's a new position that you want to go for. There's a new goal that you have. You're trying to reach some sort of goal, and maybe this is the reason why you are working so hard, because if you see, this man has a carrot and this man is reaching for an apple. It seems like you are trying to get some sort of promotion, some sort of post, some sort of thing that you want, and that is why you've put in all this extra effort. You are really reaching for it and really, really working hard, and people are standing back and just watching you do this. So they expect you to work really hard to achieve this particular goal. So your fears is that you won't be able to, you miss out details, and that you won't be able to perform well, and you've become rather obsessed with going for this particular goal, for this particular maybe promotion that you're going for, this particular post. So you're working all out, and you're really focusing on it and trying to make sure that you have all your facts in hand when you go for it. So the future outcome cards, there's decision, resolve, and dissatisfaction. So there is a decision that you will have to make, and it's a decision involving maybe your resources and your time and your efforts, where you're going to put your efforts, and what is the best place to focus on. So you're trying to decide which place to focus on. There are obstacles in your way, and you're trying to get through these obstacles, and you do have a solution for your problems, but you don't really know which solution to take, which direction to go in. A decision will have to be made pretty soon. You've got this fox in the background over here saying that people are standing over you, breathing on your back to make a decision. And so some sort of decision will have to be made pretty quickly. And you've got two options. You can either communicate with somebody and get an idea on how to actually sort this problem out, or you're going to have to sort it out yourself. If you do it yourself, it's going to take a lot of hard work and slog. And it might not be as quick a solution as you want it to be, so you might need to be calling in for some sort of help to get you through. And it looks like you probably are going to need some sort of help with the Seven of Resolve. This person is a fireman rescuing this person, so you do need a bit of rescuing at this particular moment, because things look like they are going up in smoke around you. And you do need somebody to come in and help you get out of the situation, especially when you are feeling so overwhelmed, like everything has gone to pot, really, and, things are very, very chaotic. You're going to need some sort of expert advice, somebody to come in and rescue. There looks like there will be somebody, but it looks like you're going to have to call for this kind of help. You might actually be planning on just leaving the whole situation and walking away from it, because it might be just getting a bit too much for you. So there is that possibility, with this as being the final card of dissatisfaction, where you're very unhappy with this job. Circumstances have changed, you have changed, and now you probably just want to leave it and go. Maybe you just can't cope with it anymore, and you're not happy to stay in this job because it's making you very, very happy and making you work so hard. And so maybe you might make a decision to actually move away from this particular job and start something new. Maybe start your own business. Okay, so I'm going to just draw cards from the Fairy Tarot. Let's see what advice comes through. Okay, so the first card is the Nine of Summer, which says wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, a magical time of life. So you're going to get what you want eventually. And the second card is the Chariot, which always talks about movement, success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments and being in the spotlight. So you have to be determined and do what you want to do, and you might be moving. So there is a possibility that you will actually move away from that particular job to something that is much more suited to you. And also the Wheel is also a card of movement, which says delays are over, sudden and unexpected good luck, a new car or travel. So there is a possibility that you're going to end the cycle. The Wheel is a 10 card, which is an ending of a cycle, and you might eventually say this job is not worth all this drama and trauma that I'm going through, and you might actually move away. So there is some sort of assessment coming up for you in the workplace, but you're not very, very happy because you're having to, follow your instincts and proceed very cautiously. Things are very, very chaotic around you from these two cards that I can see. And you do have a goal and ambition that you want to reach, but you're having to work extremely hard and be assessed for it. And people are pointing fingers at you, which is not a nice situation to be in, where you're taking so much of responsibilities and burdens for whatever little money you're getting. And, maybe your decision will have to be made on what you want to do. It looks like you're going to need some sort of rescuing from the situation where somebody needs to come in and help you out. And it looks like you eventually decide that you want to take your things and move to something that is much more suited, much more calmer. So because you're so unhappy and dissatisfied with this particular job that you're doing. The Wheel says that, things are going to turn in your favor. There is some sort of movement coming in with the Chariot card, and you will get whatever wishes you have fulfilled for you. So whatever you're deciding to do, it looks like whatever your decision is, it's going to come through for you. You just have to decide whether or not you want to stay in the situation where there's so much of chaos and drama, or you want to move into something else where you're your own person and your own boss, and you have much more freedom to do what you want, and there's not so much of work. So a big decision coming up for you here about what you really want to do. So I hope that this reading has helped you, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment if it has. Thank you so much for watching. Take care now. Goodbye.